Kendo Podcast episode 136. In this video, I want to talk about how to deal with failure in your Kendo exam. Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from kendoguide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit kendoguide.com for more Kendo information and how to support kendoguide.com. Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 136. If you visited my podcast for the first time, my name is Hiro Mafuji and I'm the author of Kendo Guide for Beginners and host of this Kendo podcast and also kendoguide.com website and kendoguide.com YouTube channel, and currently hold 6th Dan in Kendo. Now, about this topic, recently one of my members at patreon.com informed me that she failed her Nidan exam and she was so devastated. And I understand. I failed Kendo exams several times and it's not always successful, it's not always what it's like life, right? It's not always what you want, you don't want to fail. But the point is, I want to talk about some tips as well. First, I want to talk about how to deal with this failure, and then also after that I want to talk about how you see exams in Kendo or martial arts. Okay, now, you go and take exams, and then, and then you failed, and the whole world just ended there. Why I didn't I pass? I trained very hard, right? And then you don't know what to do next. I understand. You've been working towards that, and then now you didn't get it. Let's say second dan this time, because she wanted to get second dan. You didn't get it. Now the world ended. Whole world is, all right? And then sometimes you think, why did that person pass and I didn't pass? That's always happens. Always, it's not your place. First, it's not your place, okay? But right after you failed, okay, you need detox. So if you want to complain, just complain everything. Blame everyone around you because of this, because of that. Just get it all out. You have a lot of this stress. Let it all out. And then now you have to recover from it. You got to be resilient, right? So after you get this old poison out of your system, think about it. Okay, now I'm sure after your exams you wondered why you failed, and in a lot of cases you can ask judges, right, individually. The smaller the federations, or the smaller the what do you call it? The Shinsa is, quite likely your judges will remember if they take notes. Okay, even if they don't know you, they might have taken some notes on your exam because you have a number, right? So go and ask them what you can improve. Okay, don't ask them but probably you can ask why you fail, but it's not very positive. Ask them what you can improve. Okay, so that's more positive, right? It's just how I feel. I don't know if there is any scientific things behind it, but that's how I see it, how I want to feel. I'm not fixing what is wrong. I'm trying to improve my Kendo. But anyway, that's how you look at it. So first, very important thing is let it all out. Get rid of those bad feelings out of your system. Okay, and then be resilient. recover from it really quickly. Don't once you're just done with detox, uh, you know, you don't want to go back there to that feeling and go, oh, I don't know why I failed. Some people keep complaining and they will never stop. That attitude won't bring you anything. Like we always tell kids, bad attitudes will like it's like chain reaction. If you have a bad attitude, nothing will brings you good things after that. So you just change attitude. So that's first step I think you should take. All right, now this is very important part as a martial artist, or let's as a kendoist, well, the person who practices kendo. I want you to see exam in a certain way. Maybe it's different from other exams because it's martial arts. Now, the exams, you take exams because you want to be certain grade. All right, and I understand that. And when you fail to get the one you wanted, it's not you're not failing. You're learning. You just learned you're not that level, right? So that's okay. And also, this is not something. You can say that grade, those downgrade is a certificate. Yes, in a way it's a certificate, but it's it's like a milestone. You don't get anything good out of it. You're just telling you are that level, and then all the judges agreed that you are that level, right? That's all. Okay, so what I want you to know is that, okay, first, before exam, right? Before exam, maybe you have your teacher. What do you ask your teacher, right? And at some people come and talk to me, and they go, "Oh, can you teach me? Can you teach me? Because I want to pass." My own students come up to me and go, "Can you teach me? I've been teaching you. I cannot teach you how to pass exam. I've been teaching you kendo. So if you do it right, if you've been doing correctly, or if you've been, studying properly, you should pass." That's my theory. That's what I've been doing, right? And especially those who have good abilities, really good abilities to pass. All they need is just do what they do. They don't have to ask me some new skills or something to pass. That's not good. And that's not a good attitude for martial artists for me. And the most important thing to ask is, some people come up to me and go, "Can I take exam? Can I take such and such an exam?" You can, right? I say you can. It's no place for me to say no, you cannot. In old days, maybe that happened, but most important question is, am I at that level? That's the most important question for us to ask our sensei. Do you think I am at second dan level? Do you think I am ready to take sixth dan exam? Or do you think I can pass third dan exam? Something like that. It's not like, can I go or can I take exam? Of course you can. We can't say no. So if you give right question to your teacher, probably they will give you the right answer. If someone asks me to, someone, as in my student, asked me, do you think I can pass? Do you think I have ability to pass Sanda? I would say yes or no. That's the question, right? That was the question. So I have to say, yes, I think you can pass, or no, I don't think you can pass. So you have to ask the right question. And then you will know you are not at the level. Okay, so exam is to learn, milestone. So if you want to pass the exam, right, if you go there to pass, you should be at that level. Otherwise, you won't pass. So in your training, you need to train those criteria that you can pass the grade you're looking for, right? Now, recently I started this series called Fast Track to Downgrade. That is only available in the members area at Patreon, but in that course series, I'm talking about those criteria in detail through my experience of being judges for up to 4th dan. And now I have made first Shodan and Nidan criteria course, so I'm moving on to 3rd dan and 4th dan. But it's a very important thing for us, especially late starters or adult kendoists, to know what we should be working on. In the past, I was thinking, as long as as long as I do kendo and whatever the teachers point out, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and if I do this, I should be okay. But that's not always the case, and especially you're going higher and higher, and especially if you're not really surrounded by a lot of high grade holders, and you're not able to train constantly, like Japan or other very fortunate people. We really have to work on specific things at a time. Otherwise, it's very hard for us to improve. That is why I started this course series. And before, in one of the video I talked about in that series is that we have criteria for each dance up to 8th dan, published by All Japan Kendo Federation, and I use translation from Kendo World Magazine 6.1 2011 not version, what do you call it? Issue. Okay, so for example, but this is very hard. In Japanese, it's very hard to understand. And of course, if you translate something hard to understand in one language, it's very hard to translate that into other language. Hear this out. For Sandan, if you want to become Sandan, you have to be someone who is accomplished in the basics of kendo and has good technique. Okay, what does it mean? So as a judge, through my experiences of being judges up to 4th dan exam, I understand now I have my own criteria based on that through my experience. And then a lot of senseis look at different things, but if you have that ability, if you have the ability of that particular grade you're going for, you will pass. Why you are not passing? Because you didn't convince those judges, right? So to convince those judges, you have to satisfy these little criteria. What are they? that's what I'm talking about in this course. You know, it is very different from judge to judge, I'm sure. But like I said, if you have the ability, everyone will pass you. So don't worry about it too much. But of course, as Kendo practitioners, we all need to know what we should be doing, right? So once you get, what you should be working on from the judges, you will. I'm sure you will have opportunities to ask those judges because we all outside Japan we have small Kendo community, so I'm sure we can talk to judges. In Japan, it's not really easy to do so. But again, in Japan, we have a lot of teachers looking at you, so maybe they will give you some advice, right? Okay, so make sure you get advice. So they will tell you this. Oh, you should be working on this. You should be, let's say you should be working on Kikentaichi. Oh, what's wrong with my Kikentaichi? Okay, your right hand, let's say your Fumikomi is off timing, let's say. Okay, now you know what you should be working on. Okay, it's off timing, so you have to make your Fumikomi on timing. I don't know if you say that or not. But have to be right time, right? So now you know what to do. Now, how do you practice? That is something you have to come up with. Now you can talk about that with your teacher or with your kendo mates. How can you make it happen? But that is your assignment. How do you, okay, you now know what to do, but it's not enough. You have to come up with a plan to go to achieve it. Okay, so that is very important thing to do. I have been trying to do that. My YouTube channel. That's I'm aiming at. I'm trying to throw a lot of ideas. Or what about this? What about that? If you want to achieve this, you can do this. You can do that. But after all, that's up to you and up to my students who is doing that. So you really have to. Ideally, you will come up with your own thing to achieve what you want to achieve. For example, like the previous example, Kikentaichi. Now, I want you to remember that failing is two types of failing. Okay, you didn't have luck, or you were a lack of skills, the ability. So either you have ability to pass, but unluckily, okay, sometimes you didn't really you couldn't show your true ability, or your partner you're unlikely your partner wasn't really he wasn't the partner in tachiai, in the fight tachiai. You sometimes you can there are a lot of you have someone who can do kendo really good, or you know what I mean. They're like, oh, I don't like that kind of kendo type of thing. If you have that, unfortunate, right? You have the ability to pass, but sometimes you're unfortunate, or it's just simple, a lack of the skill, right? Lack of the skills. So basically two things. So if you're lacking the skills, don't worry. That's, like I said, it's a milestone. So we learn from that, and then you go back to not school. You go back to your dojo and then relearn. Okay, if you need to start from scratch, do it. And then one more thing I want to mention is earlier the better. So if you fail shodan, nidan, sandan, that's a good thing, If you just pass 1, 2, 3 and then go and to the higher and higher, it's more getting more difficult, right? It's hard to go back to the basics and then go bring your level up to that level, fifth dan level, sixth dan level. So earlier the better. So if you realize that your basic is not good at like shodan, nidan, sandan, that's a great thing. You go back and then just start from it, from scratch, and then have a good basics, and then do what you need to do, and later you will be you will be thankful. Oh, I failed shodan or nidan back then. That time I relearned the basics. That helped my Kendo, So now I can do little things without fixing too much. So that is ideal. So fail first. Now fail early, and if you want to fail a lot early, not later. Okay, so later if you fail a lot, you just go, oh, what? Why? I don't know what to do. That is more like that. I hope I'm not gonna get that, but I don't know. So I think that is a good thing. So first you detox. All right, if you have to, just cry a lot. Just detox first. Forget about it. Move on, and then work on the new Kendo skills, or not new Kendo skills, but work on whatever you need to work on. So you'll be fine. All right. And I have an announcement. November 9th, I hit 90 members at patreon.com/Kendo For Life, and I want to do something special for the members. So if you're listening to this and you're a member, please, I have a voting going on at the patreon.com/Kendo For Life. So please come and vote on what you want me to do. If you have a request, please tell me. Okay, and if you're not a member yet, please come and join us. And I want to do something special as for my members. So you become a member and then tell me what you want me to do. I will do so pretty much. Okay, and that is the announcement. Get benefit out of it. Okay, thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next podcast. I would like to send special thanks to patrons for their constant support through patreons.com/Kendo For Life.